The Talks Club. Keep talking, keep learning.
So what I'm here to say is I'm here to actually to narrate an incident, what happened to me and what actually became the reason as to why I joined the Talks Club Ranchi. So I would like to say that some days back, 13th of November 2019 to be exact, there was a competition held, a Hindi elocution competition held in my school, my new school, rather to say JVM Shamli. Since it's quite a big school, there were many people who participated in that competition. So it's an obvious thing that it was at quite a huge level. So as far as I remember, it was 11th of November when we were told about the competition ki on 13th there is going to be a competition, and since 12th was a day off, I think we had ample time enough to prepare for whatever we had to say. Since it was my first ever competition in a new school, and that too a Hindi based competition, since I had never participated in a thing like that before, I was very excited and yet nervous at the same time. I chose a really inspiring and beautiful poem by Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the late ex-Prime Minister of India. It was titled Kadam Milakar Chalna Hoga. In English translation, it means we have to match the steps. So, as I can say, I was quite prepared for it. I knew what I had to say. I was confident enough to know, and most importantly, I knew what the poem was about. It told about whenever you face a difficulty, you have to stay cool, you have to stay calm, and then work through it. So on the D-Day, after some time, I finally got my chance to speak. And as I'm told, that I started off quite great. Like, I was confident, I knew the lines, and I was fluent as well. But it was then when the end was approaching, I forgot the last two lines of the poem. And I'm telling you, it's the most horrible feeling you ever get. You just stand in front of a whole group of people with a blank face. You are like, your mind is blank and you're like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? That was what had happened to me. I just stood there and it felt horrible because you see, people were staring at me and they were either like, some of them were not even bothered because they were thinking about their own thing to say, and others who had already spoken, they were like, means they were like, yes, this is not supposed to be like one of the things that we have to hear. So this was what had happened, and somehow in the audience, when I had not spoken for more than 5 seconds, they were like, someone in the audience had passed me the paper in which I had written the whole poem, and somehow I just finished it. I just somehow finished it and I went back to my place. And in that whole thing, when I was going back from the dais to my place, tears had already sprung in my eyes, and I was very ashamed because I was not having a good feeling about it, because it had never happened to me before that in front of a huge number of people I had forgotten something, or I was just blank. And so when I went back to my seat, I was quite down. My friend comforted me. Even my teacher who came, since I had started crying, she came and then she was like, whatever you said, you spoke well, etc. They said it to me like that. And the one more thing I would like to just add here is that the lines which I had forgotten was that बाधाएं आती हैं आए घिरे प्रलय की घोर घटाएं पावों के नीचे अंगारे सिर पर बरसे यदि ज्वालाएं आग लगाकर जलना होगा कदम मिलाकर चलना होगा. Now you see the irony. I did the opposite of what I was about to say. I lost my calm and I just stood there staring at people with a blank face, and even I started crying after it. So this was what I had done. After I came back home, I said the whole thing to my parents. They also said that it happens. Things like this happens. It just means that it just proves that it's an indication that I have to work harder. I have to work more upon these skills. So I would just like to say that I am just narrating this incident, not just here to conduct a moral lesson class or just to preach about something. Everyone has said over here some really nice topics, and I just said this thing just to get it off my mind and just to say this message that things like this does happen. It happens to the best of the speakers and it happens to the worst of them as well. They do not determine your potential or your talent at any cost. If I were to say it like this, that if the stars, they shine in daylight, that does not mean that they lose their shine. It's just that they do not have the right time to show their shine off. And this is what I would like to say, that since many of us over here are either aspiring to be something or have already become something, things may not go as well as we would like them to go. But at times like this, you have to just stay calm and just think it this way, that everything that happens for a reason. Thank you.